right, we are good to go on the recording. Yeah, so how'd the scrim go, in y'all's opinion, after Galen and I head out for the day?
It was pretty good.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Any major struggles that we ran into, or that you felt that we ran into that you want Galen and I to look out for?
A semi-oppressive widow.
Sorry?
There's this widow that was like pretty good on the other team, but other
Oppressive
than that,
widow?
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
it was just funny.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that for sure. Anyone else have things that they thought were good or were struggles?
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm here now.
Oh, welcome, Galen. We're just talking about what they felt was like a struggle going into the matches that we didn't see. So we're gonna review those today. I can share my screen too.
Okay. I wanted to ask about that actually. Like, how did you guys feel like between like the stuff we were trying with moving people around and stuff like that, versus like the usual?
It felt good as long as I wish we just didn't do it the day before, or like our last scrim before a game.
Okay. Do we know our opponent, like the difficulty of our opponent?
Has anybody overbuffed them? Josh, did you?
I think they're roughly the same as us. I think they're like some of them are like mid plat and then like some are silvers.
Okay.
I definitely don't think we put me on tank tomorrow.
Okay. So you want to keep running with Avery on tank, you on flex support?
For at least this game, if we practice it more with me on tank, I can see us playing it in the future, but not after just one scrim of it.
Yeah. What I want to kind of implement in the future, I think, is like Saturday will be like experiment day, and then Sunday will be like refining day. If that sounds like okay.
Mhm.
But we didn't have a Saturday scrim, so that made it kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think the three maps that we didn't see firsthand, Galen. Correct if I'm wrong, everyone. But Anubis, Lijiang, and Blizzard World, are those the three?
I believe
That's right.
so.
Yeah, we saw half of
There
Havana. I think.
was, yeah, in Havana. That was the last one. You guys had to leave it in the middle of
Havana.
The side
yeah.
chain.
Okay. Let me then start with Havana.
Traveling to Havana.
Okay, and you were on the attack second, right?
Yeah, we were.
Ready for battle.
Okay. So, can someone catch me up to speed because I wasn't able to make the weekend scrims due to other team practices and competition. What were the comps that we were trying to run this week?
So we didn't have the Saturday scrim, right? We just had the Sunday. So yeah, on the Sunday scrim, you were there for it. It was like the we were experimenting a lot with like Owen on main tank, so we were trying like Ryan stuff, Monkey stuff, and generally not as much ball because Owen's not as comfortable on it. And then I assume after we left, they were running more ball because Avery was on main tank again. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes?
I think
Okay.
so.
Ready.
Okay. Alright, so let's see this first corner fight. So I know you were saying, Tina, that there was an impressive widow. I presume you're talking about Havana, and maybe Anubis.
Mostly Havana.
Mostly Havana.
Havana and
Okay.
Blizzard World, actually.
Oh, Blizzard World. All right.
Yeah, Blizzard World I think was more of a problem.
Yeah.
Where's this widow stationed up at for most of this fight?
Yeah, me and Avery were both watching the Widows gameplay.
Okay, so she's taking very aggressive positions with the damage boost.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, so once that widow starts taking shots at Zen, I think you probably just want to crouch behind the payload or play a corner, right? instead of trying to climb over it, right? Like right here, you just become a walking head for her to click. So just be mindful. Good pressure. Like we know the problem is Widow and we start doing something about it. So that's good. Zen trade. Alright, both support sound not great. She's taking a very aggressive angle, Galen.
I would actually call these really aggressive.
not-
She's just
not
kind of
aggressive,
mate,
but-
right? Yeah.
Well, she
She's
keeps
just-
positioning herself forward. Like she keeps pushing on top of it and just like running it down mid.
Yeah.
Instead of like
And,
trying to find a high angle and position for the next fight, she just keeps going with it.
To me, that just like shows that we're either not calling the location, or if we are calling the location, we're not like respecting the LOS, right? So we're just kind of standing in the middle of main, and then when we die, we're like, wow, she has great aim, and like, yeah, she does, but we kind of gave it to her, right?
Yeah.
So
Although the shot that killed the Zen was like, it looked like an accident, because I think she was trying to kill the Alto.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, same idea. Like, why was there Zen next to our Hanzo getting shot, right? Kind of concept.
so I like the idea behind trying to use shield to cut off the Widow, but we have to be careful about how long we leave it up for, right? Because leaving it up like that, I mean, obviously you shut down the sightline, but it just gets destroyed. Like every time shield gets thrown out, it becomes one more thing that no matter who's shooting at it, they'll always get value because they may as well destroy it, right? And then that kind of shuts down the whole process of being able to kill Widow. So just be mindful of the resource management.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Want to go back a little bit?
No one can hide.
Is everyone able to see this through the live stream? Sorry, just want to make sure and hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I want to see what the Zen was seeing here with Aras. Oh, come on, chat.
You can hit Control Shift C to do that faster as well.
Oh, Control Shift C.
Yeah, it saves time.
Right. So when you're playing Zen, because we already have the Mercy to pocket the DPS, right? It's not like we need to pocket an Echo or something. With Zen, Brig, Mercy. When you're throwing your healing orb onto someone, I think it should be the person who's actively doing things. And so right here, pocketing Owen is good because he's actively taking damage. He's engaging the diva. And now your Ball's the one going in. So Ball is going to be the primary focus. You need to be able to try and hit Ball with the Harmony Orb because that's going to be the bailout. And so you go for the Widow that's under pressure, but the Widow I think is going to be Mercy's job to handle, right? So we need to kind of know when we're playing these supports where you can only focus on one person at a time, who's helping who, right? Mercy damage boost is really valuable for the snipers, and the Harmony Orb is just going to do a little bit more for the actively engaging tanks. Galen, I don't know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I agree. Another really big thing is like you're still standing in the open this whole time. So when the Widow grappled up to like high ground, right? She had a free look at you, right? And she went for someone else over you, right? But there was a very solid chance you could just die there, right? So again, like hug corners, hug cover, right? And don't stand in the open like this, right?
Like I want to look at what the Zen here is doing. So Zen's got his Harmony on the Diva because his Diva's frontlining, right? Diva's the one actively engaging for their Zen. And then as soon as the Ball starts coming in, he discords Aras, right? He discords the target that they're going to be focusing on. And now his Ball is low. It's being pocketed by the Mercy, but he knows his Ball's going to be the next one to go in, so he Harmonies him instead. And then has Flux ready to go for everyone else. which it doesn't look like it pays off too well because the ball just engages really, really low. But Zen was like at least trying to keep him alive. So Zen got a little outpaced here just by his team's tanks feeding, but he, I think, had the right intent, so we need to be playing more like that. Be very careful when you're frontlining. Win the duel, nice. Ball should be able to recontest here, right?
Remember to be disciplined when you're when we're about to cap as well, right? Like, why did like we lose 2 right off the bat in that fight when the ball went in? It's because like we had like 4 people on cart, no one was taking angles, no one was like preemptively like expecting this widow to be here. So as a result, like they got like a great opening engage, and that's something we can't really like. There's not really a reason to allow on when we're about to cap, right? Like we don't actually try backing off the cart until they mines it, right? And then our Zen has no cover, right? So again, like if you're playing like vulnerable characters, just don't be on cart when the recontest happens, because it will happen, right?
I just want to see something else here. I want to see if you had your pile driver on cooldown. So what's awesome about Hammond pile driver is that it does a flat 50 damage within range, I believe.
It is 100 actually.
It's 100. Oh my god.
But it has fall off. It has fall off, so it's not 100 the whole way out.
Okay, it has 100, but with fall off. So what this means is typically when you are in the epicenter of where the mines spread out as Hammond, if Hammond pile drivers you after this and hits you, as long as you do it fast enough, you can hit your pile driver and destroy all the mines. And so what would have been great to see here is getting the elevation off of the opposing hamster's pile drive. If you had done the same thing to mirror it, you would have destroyed the mines that were in this area. And if you put some forward momentum into it, you possibly could have hit the cart and destroyed everything around, making things a little safer for your team. So there is a little bit of counterplay to mines when you're playing Hammond in the matchup, right? As long as you are there and the hamster mines you, the counterplay is just hitting control and clearing as many as you can just off of one cooldown, because Hammond shouldn't be trying to dive you. So as long as you're like stationed up for that, it's kind of a cool thing. I don't know if you were aware that it did that. That's okay, but like in a future situation like this, if you're ever on the point like that, and mines come out, as long as they aren't already deployed, you can definitely use control to just destroy them all while they're getting set up.
It's been almost 15 minutes, by the way.
Okay. We'll try to move along with this then.
60
Okay.
seconds.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Okay. So we're up quite a bit right now. Mercy's going for the res, so we've traded reses. Does that Zen die to that? No. Okay.
It walls him off from his team, so it doesn't.
It does. Yeah, it isolates him, which is good. We need to close down that Mercy. That's unfortunate. Yeah, you probably could have held that flux, but I understand the situation of wanting to just close it out.
Seconds remaining.
Alright, next fight. Galen, let me know if you want me to pause anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice shot. Okay, transfer mines. That's, I think, a good trade. Because I don't know what else we're gonna use transform besides a rush. I don't think we can really pull that off with this comp. Why do we lose this fight? Let's see. Okay. We just struggle to close it out on the Zen. I think in this situation, you probably could have pathed around back this way, just to put some cover between you and the rest of the team with your grapple. If you'd gotten a good roll, you might have been able to kill the Zen outright. Right, so Zen has...
Well,
Oh, go for it.
in this situation, I would have booped him off of high ground and then pile drived, because he would have killed him then. It would have done enough burst damage to kill him off of the high ground.
Yeah.
So I would have booped him with your grapple and then pile drived.
Just hit the combo on him, yeah.
You're in third person, by the way, right now.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So like here he gets knocked down, you could just pile drive off these stairs and he would die.
Yeah. Because he's at, is it 50?
He goes down quite a bit.
It looks like 75-ish.
That's why I'll watch it from Zen's perspective. Oh yeah, yeah, he's low. So pile driver would have been enough damage. So as, figure out how you want to chain your cooldowns as hamster. It's really useful when you're trying to get those dives off. That's alright.
I'd also advise against like fighting in that spot in the first place. If you're playing like in front of your team as opposed to like to the side, and your team's not even really ready to take a fight yet, so there's not really a need to force the issue.
Yeah. Okay. Not sure where to look. I think I missed the fight. But I also want to move on to the other maps, so... Are you okay? Is there anything else that would like really happen in this, or is it okay if I move on?
I think you can move on.
Okay. I'll move on. Anubis was next?
Dylan's talking in competitive Overwatch chat, by the way, because he can't use
Oh,
a mic.
oh, I just saw it.
Yeah, we can consider like moving people around more. Like swapping you and Ian seems like something we can do if we want to fine tune, if we still want to run that exact roster. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more exploring on Saturdays in the future.
Dylan, I see your comment. I don't think I should be Zen. He seems like a more vital role that should be played by someone with more understanding. I would disagree. I think that you should be Zen a little bit more when we practice, just so that you understand. Cause Dylan, what do you typically play? What is Dylan's role for the team? I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Brig.
Usually the Brick Lucio, yeah.
Brig Lucio? Okay.
Yeah, he's the other.
If, in my opinion, I do think, since Ian is normally a DPS player, it might be easier for him to adjust to flex support.
Mhm.
Because Zen and Ana, like, sometimes, like, you can play them as a DPS character.
Yeah, Zen definitely
just
has
support.
capability to do so.
So I feel like it might be beneficial to have Ian play the Zen role.
Sure.
Also, he plays it from the Tracer's POV, or he knows what the Tracer wants because he's a Tracer player.
Yeah.
As well.
So I agree with that sentiment then, that the two of you should have been swapped. However, in your own time, Dylan, I would like to see you practice more Zen, if only so that you develop that understanding, so that if you're in a co-support situation, where you're not playing the Zen, like you understand what your Zen's priorities are, right? Know what your co-healer wants. There is no harm in practicing a new role to yourself, if only because it develops the understanding of what they need when you have to put yourself in their shoes. So if you ever run into someone who's playing Zen with you, you know what they want. So just stuff to practice, right? Like it wouldn't hurt. We don't necessarily need to field it for any future matches. I need to take a better look at this fight. Okay, so we're playing Mercy Ash up here. Cool. Zen on the bridge. That's an okay position, right? Galen?
Yeah,
Playing right
I think
here?
it's fine. Yeah,
Cool.
as long
That
as
should
you
be
back up in time before a dive happens.
Yeah, you should be able to play backside of bridge. Yeah, if you're playing backside of bridge when they move, they shouldn't be able to dive you. Okay, ball's doing the tricky thing. I need to find the good angle for this. Okay, how come Aras has to drop here? Remember your shield. Pull your shield back. Yeah. So that needed to happen a little bit longer, but
Yeah, I don't think he had a drop. You could just like kind of play the pillars and then just hide behind them using this cover.
I think he slipped. Like I
Oh.
don't think he meant to fall off.
yeah, I think
think
it's
he
that.
was
Yeah,
also
I
using
kinda-
grasp.
I kind of did actually.
I think
My-
he used
my-
grasp and he intended to stay up to get more shields from it
yeah.
and then fell off.
So right here, you're at 400 HP, and your shield's at half. You can afford to drop the shield because as a tank, you can afford to soak up a little bit of damage with your healing. It'll also help your supports build ult charge as long as you don't get bum rushed. And everybody's outside of your LOS, right? So like, there's no pressure, and like we said earlier, where they can just keep shooting the shield if they wanted to get value out of it, right? So they start shooting it. You remember that it's up, and then give it a little bit of time to recharge. Yeah, you accidentally drop, so you waste that shift cooldown in the process.
Barrier's about to break.
And then panic shield. D.Va puts herself in a weird situation there. Yeah, there's no reason to drop, but if it's an accident, that happens. Want to see why the ball's getting value? Right, so there's the Harmony Orb thing again, right? Ball goes in, gets Harmony Orb. Without that, he definitely should have been dead. Well, from Zen's perspective.
There is disquiet in your soul.
I don't know why we force, or they force their trance. Yeah. We don't have trance for this, we should win. Cool. Okay, that Zen went way too far.
I think this is a dragon from spawn. Yeah.
A dragon from spawn?
I think they did, or at least really far back.
I booped Hanzo away and I messed up his dragon.
Oh,
It was
sick.
like on low ground, so I just started messing with him while I saw him shooting there.
So, I'm curious why we start moving to the right room, because it looks like people are still hanging out in choke. Oh, you're preemptively waiting for the ball? Okay. But both of, like, one of you should definitely have this under control, right, when it's just ball, either Rat or Sigma. And we don't get a whole lot of pressure down main as a result, because it's just Zen and Ashe shooting with a ball distracting the backline. Like, we could end this right here if we had people shooting that Zen. We could end the push right here and now. I don't know if this bites us later. Well, we kill the Mercy, so it doesn't matter too much. But now they're just chilling inside that room. Oh my god, you are in. God,
Mines are still
okay.
going.
There's
Crazy.
no way that killed
How
the
are
Zen.
how are the mines just getting value?
I have no idea, but
So
don't even
yeah,
know
it's so
myself.
weird. It's so weird.
I just
Okay.
dropped them and ran away.
Also,
I got body
if
blocked.
Rez isn't on cooldown, you probably could have gotten Avery.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was or not.
I'm pretty sure it was, and plus I was gonna come back faster than them, so I don't think that was a worry.
again, Avery, you want to be careful with those mines because like your team can't do anything with it, right? So yeah, that's good. If you mine, for example, when they were trying to get into like the choke, but like the mines were just kind of like on your own, like against the whole team, right? So like yeah, the mines were That's awkward.
Oh, that's so
Body
awkward.
blocked.
He was trapped too. That's the
I
only
was
reason he
so
body
sad.
blocked.
I'm like, I can't get over it.
Yeah, the only reason that body blocked is because the ball was trapped too. He was trying to
I
get away
know.
too.
I was just sitting there
also-
thinking like, man, that ball was like perfectly aligned.
Can you go back like a couple seconds before you remind?
Where he rolls through.
Yeah. So whenever you roll just into their massive team, you're just completely stranding yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if you
Like
also, you
there's literally nobody who can help you right now.
Yeah. If you're trying to get value off your shields and whatnot, if you is that's understandable. But like the thing is like it's just not necessary to force this. And if you are, you just need to make sure you don't like mess up mechanically because you held onto your grapple here and lost your fireball, right?
Instead, I would have set up on the wall to your left and then just mines whenever they walk out of this right here. And then you're minesing their rotate, so they can't really do anything. Like just sit on the wall top right and wait for them to walk in front of Mega Room.
This close, I don't understand how you even get the fireball off. I actually don't know how you do that. Like
No, you
it's
can get
such a
You
close
get fireball
grapple.
pretty easily.
Yeah, if you already have momentum in one direction, getting the fireball is super fast. But you need to know the timing you let go, or else like you like if you do a short grapple, you'll just cancel your own fireball by like I don't know what the word is. But... Did they actually just walk into it?
I think that Zen thinks he's got them all. Oh my god.
No.
No, dude.
Poor Zen.
That was so sad.
Oh, it's so awkward. Okay. I just saw another shield management thing to hit on, right?
It's
Okay,
been
so
half an hour, by the way.
Okay. You left your shield up still. Finally call it back. But like, if that Widow were to take a new angle after that jump, or you needed a shield for any reason, you don't have it to play with, right?
If you're afraid of taking damage, like just stand behind cover, right? Your cover there was relatively close to you, and if you just like if you're afraid of like taking damage but you want to shoot anyways, you can. You just need to make sure like you just peek and shoot as opposed to just standing in the open behind a shield, right? That way you're not using resources for something you can do with just map geometry.
Right. And I think there was no real reason to like use the suction here. Like that shouldn't have been forced because it is just hamster. Or more specifically, I think you could have saved a little bit of shield to play with against the hamster, not force suck. So that if you didn't force that out, you wouldn't be in this position, right? Where you're down like most of your shield and don't have anything to use to turn damage into shields, right? They just pressure you out.
I would say use natural cover more as a shield, and then just use your actual shield for stuff you can't block with natural cover.
And you're just wait to try and touch.
Yeah, that's fine.
A lot of your team is just going to be using natural cover.
Hello.
Oh, jeez, come on. Okay,
Yeah,
so you
so-
go for a push on the side. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, the reason to shield things like Widow, for example, is because if you like shove a if you shove a shield in a Widow's face, that puts the Widow on a timer because like she like only has so much like break the shield's not very practical for her, so she'll only do like some damage to it, and then your teammates can use the shield in their face to shoot her, right? And that puts the timer on it, right? But if you just use the shield in the open, right, and you don't have a real like you're not gaining anything from putting the shield up, right? Say like putting the Widow on a timer, putting someone else on a timer, blocking a cooldown or something, right? If you're not achieving a purpose with your shield, then you're kind of just wasting the shield and you don't have it when you need it, right? That's sort of like the philosophy of shielding. Same goes for Reinhardt, same goes for anyone with a shield, really.
Did you see what Josh did to the Bob?
I'm trying to rewatch this, yeah, so let's see it. Like, okay, right there, you got some cover to play with, and they're not gonna be able to do anything to kill you. You got both healers able to support you. You may as well feed them a little bit of life charge, right? Especially for
push,
Tina.
push.
He's
Wait, what?
pushing Bob out.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
pushing
my
Bob
god.
out where he can
Oh my
shoot at them.
god, dude. What a lad, dude.
The nudge.
This is I think this is only the second time I've ever seen that.
That's so
funny.
funny.
That's
More
great.
Bob get like. manipulated.
Yeah, just get pushed around a corner. Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know what happened here. I forgot. I think I just held grapple too long. And
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Something
about with the room, where like you just lose the momentum and you're also still grappled on. Like you gotta get out. That should have been a one and done roll through. Get the drive by, do some chip damage, maybe get some shields off if you need it.
So
Hit your ult,
it would have
probably.
been fine. It would have been fine to stay there if the enemy team was trying to walk through that door when you made that play, right? So your timing was kind of rough because like the time you did it meant that you couldn't stay there, right? Because they don't have anything else to focus on except you, and your team can't exactly run through the door to help you, right? But if they were trying to push through that door as you made that play, right? And you booped someone forward and you held onto your grapple and then ran and then started doing fireballs and circles and knocked people around and maybe got a slam, right? That's a lot of value. It's just the most important thing is getting the timing right?
Yeah, your team needs to be ready to receive in any circumstances.
And like they're not even trying to push right now because there's a bob in play, right? So you can just wait.
I want to mention this.
That equation again.
This is a really big flux. And it's good that you were like mentally keeping track of the Zen's trance too, like knowing when it would end. What?
Wait, how did I not see that?
I was about to ask. I was like,
I think I think I had like tunnel vision.
It happens.
Plays, ignores Bob.
Barrier is unstable.
Okay, so shield management again, right? Look how much damage your shield takes off of that. Like just trying to protect Bob. Bob's only got another like couple seconds in play, so either he dies or he fades away. Doesn't matter. Like you don't need to protect Bob there. You might want to protect Josh, but that's all right. That's whatever. And then you throw your shield at half HP again. You get this flux, right? Your shield's still down and has like 0 HP. It gets broken, so now you have to wait like 3 seconds for it to come back. You can't deploy it until now, so now you have to like hit a flick to predict where the bomb's gonna go because you didn't have a shield. You were waiting on that cooldown. And also, like, even if you do throw it out, if they shoot it enough times, there's a good chance that doesn't protect anyone, right? Like, so you just get out, like, right before the bomb, and you walk into it, and that happens. Your supports are trying to get out of the way because they know that there's nothing to protect them.
Run.
I don't know where,
I don't know.
Creed is. Wait, what?
he was trying to get. He was trying to go lower, and then he got caught by the LOS.
How did Owen live?
He's
You gotta
just
run. Oh, got around the corner. Oh, got around the corner. But
Yeah.
I think the bigger point is you need to like actually look at the ball.
Yeah, you definitely need to look at the bomb, but there's a good chance that even if you had, you wouldn't have protected it because the shield was just so low. Like they could have just shot it out and killed your supports. Right, so you need to be aware of what it's at and manage it a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's all right. Like the bigger problem is that the bomb just went unnoticed, right? Like that's definitely the bigger issue there. All right, cool. Mercy dies. They don't finish it. Good job. Yeah. Okay, they go for the left flank again. Nice super jump, I suppose. Do you try pushing them again the same way, or how does this happen?
Yeah, but speaking of shield, like that's an example of a shield like you don't need to leave up, right? Or even put up in the first place when they're walking in.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
I'm not entirely sure what's been going on, but Josh has been their backline for like 20 seconds. And it seems to be working.
Just the cubbies.
Nice.
No one's even shot him, right? Like he's just sitting here.
What is happening?
What?
How he hit 4.1, I see.
Just be invisible.
Nobody looks at him.
Nice 360. That was kind of
It's
cool.
the power of visibility. It's a high-tech skill.
And they say.
Yeah. I think we played that okay, but they definitely like should have been looking. How do we get killed out of Flux? Oh my god. The Ryan hits the Hail Mary charge? What?
It's like going fishing. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Barrier's about to
Yeah, this
break.
is shield damage you don't need to take as well, right?
There's no reason
As
to
soon
take
as
that.
you see any spam, just drop it if it's not like a big cooldown that you want to block, right?
And your supports too. They're 70 and 72. Like if you had taken damage from them, they might have been able to farm ult before this last fight. And okay, I don't want to put blame on anyone too for this fight, but that rock was like kind of the same as the shield. It's like you're just trying to mess with the enemy team at that point. Imagine how much value you would have gotten in saving Ian here if you had been able to hit this. Like, okay, this Ryan shouldn't be making this play. This play is stupid from the Ryan. I don't know why he's charging all the way from main. I guess to touch, I suppose, but his diva can do that.
Oh,
Like
Ian's flashbang got eaten too. That's
yeah,
actually what killed him. But yeah.
yeah. So they do like the same thing where a monkey dives in. Their diva is just dematrixing the Ryan and praying to God that he touches in time. And I think you were expecting to be able to flash it, and that's fine, right? But like if you had Rock there, you would have had extra insurance against the dematrix, right? Which like I don't think anybody was thinking that the Ryan is gonna just run it down mid, right? Like he's bronze or something. But that's what he did, right? And like we didn't have the tools to stop it because Flashman got eaten and we didn't have Rock on cooldown. And then
Rock can't get eaten by DM.
yeah, Rock can't get deflected. Rock can't get eaten. It's like actually the best CC in the game. And so let's see. You take a bunch of damage from what?
I think then just all the squishies look at him.
Yeah.
He's kind of separated from the team.
Yeah, he separates. He gets focused down by this Echo and the Moira. A little bit of rebound damage off of the things. Yeah, so everyone just starts focusing you because you're isolated.
Holy.
And then you pop Flux at 66 HP, right? Because you get pressured out. Why is my speed being wonky?
Oh, yeah, the speed sliders have been a disaster since the last patch.
It's been awful.
Yeah.
Nice. That's alright. Okay. Next attack.
Ready for battle.
Next attack. Here we go. Alright. Did we lose a fight already? Okay.
I think so, yeah. Alright, this is really important, Avery. You can't be greedy, right? Your goal is to land on the ledge, right? Not in the middle of the team, no matter how many resources you get, right? And if, like, before your bubbles break, you need to be dropping already. Because healing you, like, while we do have an Ana that can technically heal you, it's not easy necessarily for her to heal you, and someone else might have taken damage on your entry as well, right? Like, your Ana's missing health, your Monkey's, or not your Monkey, your Hanzo's missing some health, right? So when you jump, right, you can expect some healing, but you can't, like, you still want to avoid taking damage, right? So when you jump, right, you gotta be really careful about this. So this is good timing because they actually use pull, but this is too far, and then you don't back up soon enough.
Yeah, this is where we need to be hitting a soft dive, right? It's just to get a little bit of poke damage in, it's just to get a little bit of zoning in, but because there's no way to really engage on top of them, because all of them are looking at you and nobody has like an off angle, there's no Discord on anyone, there's no echo up in the air, there's no other pressure coming in. Like this is you're not gonna get kills off of this, right?
Also, I was wrong. You actually land on the edge, but then you're gonna walk forward, and that's the part where it goes wrong.
That's a good bubble. I think I've seen a lot of people who bubble really early, like while they're still midair, and it just drops behind them and they get killed on arrival. I think the Zarya bubble was a tiny bit early, but like it was still good, right? Like the entire process was good. I think we needed Josh to get in a little bit earlier and maybe start doing some pressure from the side. Instead of going in the same direction as the Winston, because now all the focus fires on the two of you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind it, Josh, if you like instead when Avery jumps, instead of like TPing up to Avery, you just like TP'd like off to one of the sides and just start walking around the side of the map. Because we're not really a retcon. You don't have to force the issue.
Oh my god. Wait, that nade's amazing. Can't do anything
Nade
on it, though.
spot.
If you're using the nade spot again, that needs to be timed, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the timing. I think it's 7 seconds after I throw it.
Yeah, but like you gotta time them for when your monkey's going in, right?
And then I'm throwing nade and then we jump like way too far before.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of disconnect between the different
Like I just
functioning
now
parts.
called that I was throwing nade as he jumped in. And now I think it's coming in.
Like, okay, here's what we need from the first dive.
I can consistently, like, I can land this nade almost every single try. So we can use that to break first point if we need to.
Again, a little bit late on the Reaper, but because we're starting to put pressure from a different side, and we do the soft dive, they throw out Immor because this guy sees the Reaper, and not engaging on this is good, right? Like we forced out probably their most important cooldown in this entire fight, and now we can just reset and get ready to go
Next
again
cycle.
after our next cycle, right? Because we can get like another 2 dive cycles in before he gets his Immor back. Huge anti. Again, like it's all a little desync, but this is definitely more of what we were looking for. Right? Because now they don't have immortality, now they're all low, Mercy has to make choices, Bap has to make choices, although we should be pressuring at Bap. And now this is something that we could like kind of start to commit on. Right? Although they're getting healed back quite a lot because there's no pressure on the Bap until right there. We shouldn't be using Nano and Primal at the same time, I think.
I called that I was gonna nano him. I think Avery just his HP dropped and he got scared.
Yeah, you're able to make the fight last a lot longer when you use Nano and then Primal, or vice versa. Just because Nano has the damage, and then once you like get down to 0, you Primal off of that, and you go back up to 1,000. It's kind of like when Echo dupes to get a second life in. Right, but chaining the two together is a little awkward. So I think it just comes down to that desync of fights. What do you think, Galen?
Yeah, just like timing was rough, and then we also like once you make the initial jump, Avery, you don't have to keep making the same jump. You can kind of just like go somewhere else and make another jump, right? Because like you've gotten your team in, you got yourself in, right? And then you can go like around them to like underneath the bridge, and then you can jump to one of the high grounds, for example, right? Especially if they have a sniper up there. You can kind of just like maybe apply some pressure to point by hiding inside the hut. There's a bunch of stuff you can do, but like you don't have to force the issue in the tanks once you've done your job of getting your team in. He killed someone.
Oh my god, he runs out.
A little red flash at the corner of my eye. Should have said something, but I just was like, that was probably like...
I was sitting there
Like a gremlin.
and then I just died instantly.
He just ran in and bit your ankles. That's hilarious. Yeah, doesn't matter too much, but
I don't know. I felt a little desynced this entire like map. I don't know.
We have about 20 minutes left.
okay.
So again with jumps, no matter where you're jumping from, you kind of want to land on high ground or behind them if at all possible, right? Because that's why like you don't really want to jump at tanks. So if you're gonna jump from here, you kind of just want to jump over to I don't know what you call it, but I call it Legoland. the blocks on the right side of the like the blocks on the right.
Oh.
Or on like the I don't know what you guys call like the donut as well. Is it donut for you guys? The high ground.
Call it. I don't know what they
Legoland
call it.
works.
No, like this spot right here.
Oh.
What do you guys call this?
I just call it high.
High ground.
Okay,
Yeah,
jump high ground. Like
yeah.
jump on high ground or jump on like Legoland blocks, whatever you want to call it. Like you want to land on high ground, and you also want to try and cut the like supports off from the tanks, right? You never want to jump at tanks, right? So even if you have nano, right, you still want to jump somewhere else, right? And that puts you out of the way from this Ryan. You don't get a zap Ryan. You don't get pinned, right? There's just a lot of better things from jumping to higher to elevated places. And that's sort of what kind of botches our initiation, right? Is like your jump isn't like super high impact right from the start.
Feeling unstoppable.
Right, so you're facing the front of the enemy team. It's like all of them, and then like you eat a pin, right? You don't die for it immediately, right? Because you have nano. But like it's just not how you want to start a fight, right? Like the nade has to be used defensively on you, and now you use primal, which is nice, but like having a better opening the fight is just better, right? And then you die.
It looks like nobody was ready to support again.
Yeah, timing was rough, but I think the most important thing is like the location of the jump was just like not very well selected, I think.
Okay, this is good. Already starting. Awesome. Like this is much better. Because look, now Josh is going for a support, right? I mean, you might want the Winston to jump the supports, who knows? But like in this circumstance, you're splitting the attention. Although the
That
Ryan
was
does
my
the
fault.
exact same charge.
We called the dive over there and I messed up.
Yeah, you
Okay.
hit like a pillar.
I mean
We
that
also called
happens.
the
Right?
dive right side and we all went left. Like I'm pretty sure Josh called to dive the right side so that he
Yeah,
could
that's on
have
me.
help, and then
Yeah. I mean, Avery hit a pillar and then got pinned, so yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's also just pretty unlucky.
But the idea was good, right? At least you're sending in Josh a little bit early so that he could catch up with Winston. You could both go in together and start pressuring. We should just get out. Hunter gets staggered here probably.
No, I res him.
Okay. We are looking at 15 more minutes. And then Galen, if you want to do the same thing as
Yep.
usual.
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Alright.
I think we should do Blizzard World, since we haven't done that map in a long time.
Yeah. Okay, start this back. Go a little bit further back. Okay. So we're going the right side.
If our team is doing this, by the way, Avery, I don't actually want you to go with the team here. I want you to sit like under, and then you can jump from under, and it's like way better than like having to like force it with the same direction as your team, right? Or sit like in the sort of like under main path, which is like takes you like puts you like next to the bridge, and then you can just like cross the bridge when they're not paying attention, and then jump from there.
Okay.
But I yeah, you don't have to go with your team all the time.
Yeah. Because if you could sandwich them here, this would be a good play. Oh my god, that Ryan just left his Mercy to die. Do you not have personal here? Oh, the slow from the May too. I think we win this, right? Or no?
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei. Time to read my EPM. Dein Schutzengel ist da.
How's that Mercy get with that res? What are we looking at? In
I
that
think we're all looking for you.
I think we all were calling it.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei. Time to read my EPM.
Alright, we're all looking at Diva.
I know I was looking at Mercy.
Yeah, but I don't know what you're gonna do about
I
that
was
when you're trying to
do the
pocket
res,
the
do the
team.
res, do the res, and then, like, I think Zari's reloading, and
Oh my god, the bubble!
yeah.
This poor guy! Wait, wait. Was that intentional? Why'd you bubble there?
I just did it out of like, hey, I am monkey. I think I'm gonna get pressured. Bubble time.
Yeah, I think his problem just ended. So yeah.
Oh my god. I would be so mad if this happened in my ranked games. I'd be mad beyond belief.
It would have been
that-
what, a 4-5 man shatter.
Yeah, that would have definitely won the point. Like guaranteed won the point.
I think they win either way. It looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah. All right, Blizzard World it is.
But
Any
still,
comments?
He got his shattered.
Welcome to Blizzard World.
Yeah, he had that yoinked from underneath him. Any comments before we move on? Are we all good?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm good. I get to just chill.
I just want to watch this back a bit. I like that turret placement. Just to get some additional pressure from an off angle.
Yeah, we need to take more off angles with our DPS though. Like both DPS are shooting the same angle. It's not until like Jaden dies that someone thinks to like go somewhere else, right? So we need to like spread out more, take more of the map, right? And if they're not going to push us off the map, then we can like abuse it, right?
Yeah.
Where'd our Torb go?
Torb tried to push the Widow at the end, and then got the Widow's waiting for him.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it sounded like, I don't know, the Widow had like enemy volume, like enemy footstep volume up really high. Because they were, I mean, if anyone made a noise, they'd just flick.
Thanks.
Let's watch from her perspective a little bit.
This guy just sits main all the time. She never
She's
takes any
preparing
other
for you to
angles.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, didn't watch him like the entire game. And then somebody put it in chat, and their coach could see.
Okay, Avery, I didn't know.
What happened?
So
Their
I
coach could
didn't,
see our team chat.
but I didn't realize like all spectators can see team chat.
No,
Yeah,
spectators have their own chat. Like it's a spectator team, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. Like if you're not blue or red on the inside the spectator list, then you're not like on the team. You're a spectator team.
It's okay,
I
Avery
failed this
covered
out.
me. Yeah.
I failed this. I
We
said
were
that
just
were,
we just
like,
came up
trying
with
to
some
plan our own Widow and
yeah. Like how do we go against that?
Nice fire strike.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Wait, how did she tell you?
Yeah, from over here.
Now you have
And
my
she didn't have
attention.
sights on.
Probably
I
grapple.
Anna's like really easy to kill.
No
Wait,
one can
what?
hide.
Yeah. Kinda sus.
Do those trees not appear on the low?
Must.
Those trees must not appear.
Whoa.
She's probably on
They
the low
appear.
settings.
No, they do appear on low. I play on the lowest graphic settings. Those trees are still definitely there.
No one can
She
hide.
has
Yeah,
some really good
those
game
trees
sense
are
then.
fully visible.
I know.
She has a really good gaming chair. Like, oh my god. What?
That
Yeah.
was
She
trees-
had sights up for
Your
that, so.
balls.
Those trees are fully visible and low.
Okay.
She's also a Widow one trick who's hard stuff low dying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean everything that
she doesn't know
Avery
that she
saw,
got looking at.
I was
everything
talking
that
to
Avery
the
saw was
manager. They
Go
just call him the idiot that clicks good.
Just click
I mean,
heads.
like, I mean, just look at him. He only sits main. He doesn't do anything else.
Yeah. Well, you wonder why he's diamond. Like,
Yeah.
imagine how scary this would be if he took an off angle. Like, imagine having this Widow behind you. Like, we would be losing these fights
what the
every
heck?
time.
Fire.
Oh my god, is she thinking about taking an angle? Oh my god, she's gonna do it.
She's gonna take an angle. Spawn camp, spawn camp, spawn camp.
I mean, this is a
Yeah,
very
she-
small angle, but it is an angle.
Checking both doors because no
It's-
pressure from the team.
It's progress.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
McCree go.
Pause champ.
Oh my god, she wants McCree.
Échappe à mon regard.
Nice. Good
Nice.
shot. I think you both knew that was gonna
What is
happen.
wrong with the audio?
I know the audio
Yeah,
is
the
so
audio.
weird.
Wait, what?
It sounds like he's getting put through a massage
Like,
chair.
it's like warble.
Lucio. The payload has
Oh, I didn't hear that. That's weird.
Discord sounded like it was sitting in a massage chair at the mall.
Yeah. It's like a speaker was given its own little massage chair and strapped in, and then it started playing sound.
Josh lived this, by the way.
Oh my god. But who's sitting on the cart? Okay.
огонь по готовности.
We have about 5 minutes left.
Yep. Thank you.
Вижу в этом.
Oh my god. Ooh.
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 4-man shatter.
It's gonna get ruined by this Ryan, I feel. Yep.
I mean, the Ryan just kind of dipped them. I don't know why he went all the way to the side. He went all the way to the left after he was running out of the chip.
Огонь по готовности.
I think he just had no shield and wanted to split up.
I mean, he got him shattered.
Yeah, his management is really bad.
And then he just goes all the way over here.
I mean, if he walked in front, he would die. So, I mean, he dies
Yeah.
anyways, but like, at least he like, yeah, at least he saved his team. Because if he tried to back up straight away, like he would die, and probably the person behind him would also die.
Oh, also that shatter was really good, but if that pin got off and you went right through them and sent all of the 3 just in like crazy directions, it would have like not been nearly as good as if you had just swung into it.
Watch his back.
Because like normally if you get a big shatter, pinning into it is not the best idea. Because it'll just displace everybody.
Yeah.
You
So
could
the
just swing or fire strike them.
the typical combo for shatter is shatter, and then here when they're all kind of lined up, crouch and fire strike. Because if you fire strike down, it won't hit the entire lane. But if you crouch and you look forward, the fire strike like drags across the ground, and so it extends its fly time, as opposed to looking straight down at whatever target. So you crouch here, fire strike, and you'll probably actually kill like all three of those
3 of
squishies in
them.
the back, right? But by charging into this, you only guarantee 1 kill because of the nano pin. So at this point, you should just be running in and swinging and closing it out, right?
Also, I'm pretty sure if you were just running, you wouldn't have gotten charged because you would have outran it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
If you
sure
just
you would have been fast enough to just go past it.
kept the momentum going forward. Yeah,
Jaden, we can't hear you if you're talking.
I wasn't talking. I was
Oh,
just
okay.
listening.
Just making sure.
I don't fault you for using fire strike early either. Like you're trying to put pressure on them. Like that's okay. You don't need to save it for the shatter combo. That's just like the typical max damage you can do off of shatter is slam, fire strike whoever's in a row, start swinging on them sideways, and then charge whoever's left. Just to max it out. Oh jeez. Did you have beat for that, or is it just okay? So the beat's a little late. Although it is just Jaden, but like we kind of need the Ryan. Yeah, bubble gets destroyed immediately. Shield's not gonna do anything at this point. Oh my god, is he blocking you off?
Yeah, I think he's using his shield just to make sure I can't get healed.
I think he was trying to, but the beat's still late. I don't know if it would have made a difference. It looked like you still could have hit it. But
Also, Jaden, you probably should throw a fire strike in there.
I think I threw it because it was like I was gonna die no matter what, so I may as well try and get some ult charge out of it.
Yeah, but like, what if you live, right? What if like your team's able to save you?
Yeah. No, you're in a position where in this composition, right? Especially if you think that Ryan's gonna have shatter, like you need to survive. You need to survive this. I think taking the fight this aggressively is a little bad. Because where's Thunder, right? So
It's just that I had terrible game sense. Everyone backed up, I didn't realize, and then I was way too far forward.
Yeah. Okay. So the shield denies you the healing for sure. I think that's what the Ryan's trying to go for there, is prevent the Onyx. Because he doesn't know where you are. I don't think it would prevent the beat. But yeah, like everyone's trying to back out. You need to back out with them. And like you could take the fight here. Like this is definitely an acceptable kill box for a fight. But trying to take it up here where you were is just asking to get punished for it. Okay, it's just about 6. Galen and I can continue this VOD review. Are there any questions before we head out?
I don't.
No.
I'm good.
I don't have any.
Alrighty.
I'm chilling.
Alright.
Alright.
Awesome.
to you
Galen, shall we
guys
move
tomorrow.
to a separate call?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you here tomorrow, Galen, or how are we doing tomorrow?
Hmm?
How are we doing tomorrow? I thought we were scrimming.
Or
Or we have a match, right?
I believe, finally.
Yeah.
What time is it going to be at?
4?
Our time to your time.
2. Okay. Cool.
Sounds good.
Alright.
We're gonna be there a little early.
Remember, game tomorrow. Be there. Game tomorrow at 4. Be there at 3:45.
Okay.
Alright, see you guys.
Sounds
See ya.
good.
guys.
See ya.
Bye bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Let me find Galen in my list. I don't know where he is, actually. Where is he? You there?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, let me show this back. God, I feel like I take forever to do VOD reviews.
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
think it's just harder because you watch everything from like individual perspectives, and so it's like harder to tell what's going on. So you have to go back and check all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very hard for me to watch macro, and I'd prefer seeing like, okay, what was everybody's individual contribution to this fight, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to pin it on any one person. There's very few circumstances where you like can say, oh yeah, this one person messed up. Nor do I want to say one person messed up. It's always a team-based game, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So that fight goes poorly. Because just the overextension was bad. The Ryan was smart and cut off the healing. Jenna comes in. God, he really went for it. Oh, but there's no cart presence.
Yeah, Ian killed the guy in cart.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah,
they
he was
like,
playing the high ground. Yeah.
so they have to retreat off that anyways. And I'd be careful again, like taking this fight so aggressively because your team situation, right? Obviously, you're looking forward, so you don't know what the team situation looks like. But man, this frog cannot exist any harder than he is right now. Like
He's giving you the 15.
He's giving you the 15. That's all he can do. Like 52 at best. 52 with amp. Is he on amp actually? Let me see.
I think he already used it. Oh, he's got it. Oh.
Yeah, it's
Rip.
too late. It might have been on cooldown actually.
No, I just don't. I think he just used it.
Let's up the tempo, and the beat goes on.
Okay. Well, he doesn't use it right away because he's gonna try to keep you up. I think. Okay. Help your Ryan. Your Ryan needs help. Yeah, this amp needed to come out like 200 HP ago.
Yeah, and booping the other Ryan back. Maybe going speed and even to like get your Ryan out. Maybe
Yeah.
boot the other Ryan back, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a multifaceted problem of we're engaging in like a 2v4 there, and the Ryan has no more support than the 15 HP per second. And that's just not gonna be enough to handle the other Ryan. Alright, but the Ian carry seems to be coming through. Nice. This is an interesting angle from Owen.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to walk very far.
No, he doesn't.
Coming back here is very greedy though when they have Widow.
Yeah.
Probably out of position now. That's kind of awkward. Yeah, you're not back in time. Works out though.
He gets back mostly in time, just like a little late, but I don't think he gets. There's no way he gets
Like-
punished for that.
Yeah, but if his team like wanted to hold that door, like he wouldn't be there, right? So.
Right, exactly. Alright. And he's just holding main again. Wait. Okay. So this is a little hairy, because if they started to speed in, they would definitely be able to pressure Owen out. So, okay, Owen does move. That's good.
Just be really sketch like peeking these angles, Owen, when like they have Widow, right? So like you don't need to like you just go back with your team, right? Because like now you're way out of position for where the fight's happening. Like your team's trying to hold the door, and you just got back, right? And like when you're in the situation, you don't have to like go around left side. You can just kind of go back with your team, right? But like not only do you risk getting shot by Widow, right? Like you're also just late to the fight.
Yeah. What do you guys see back here? Right? Because if you run across here, you most definitely die to Widow along this little bridge here, right? But if your team is calling, hey, we're gonna hold right, especially when they see this, what is this Ryan doing on his own? What is this Ryan doing on his own?
He's taking space.
God, it's like
Space created.
It's like me in our ranked games last week. He's just in. He's just in. He's just in. Why is he there? Oh, God.
It's okay. We
Okay.
traded. We
We
traded.
traded. We traded. Space acquired. Yeah, we definitely could have been helping our Jaden there, but that's all right. Like we win the fight, but that's definitely like I don't understand what really happened that fight. Just a lot of mistakes were made. I think they out mistaked us. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, you gotta be careful about that Widow. I don't know if Ross sees that Widow. Actually.
We knew there was a Widow. Oh, Ross was bubbling it. I assume he called it as well.
I assume he called it as well. Yeah, goes back in.
Like it looks like you know she's there and you're not peeking her, and then then suddenly you peek her.
I think
Suddenly everyone peeks her.
Actually, I think the intent was Ross is gonna try a body block for Owen. It almost looks like that's what they tried because they push out at the same time. But
I mean, Owen can just
seems
heal.
really scuffed.
Yeah, Owen can just heal from range. He doesn't have to peek.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, you're definitely within that like kill zone. Oh my god. Okay, you got crossed. That Widow, you're still playing within the Widow's LOS, right? We just need to get you somewhere slightly better. Does he have any idea that this man's behind him? Must.
It sounds like the audio sounds like I'm on an airplane flight right now.
Oh, that's so weird. I don't know what that is. Wait, like it's humming or something, or?
Yeah, it's like kind of like vibrating, but it's fine now. I think. Oh, I think you're just having patches of like latency or like connection issues where just like everything goes like on the fritz for a bit.
That's so
like,
weird.
Yeah, but the video's fine. It's just the audio for some reason.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Oh. Yeah, so you need to be backing out there. Just with that purple gets you killed.
There's just no corner there for you to hold, right? So, just gotta back out. Find a new corner. This is your home now.
Yeah. Corner to corner gameplay. Okay. Hopefully we push out as a team a little bit better on this one. Big tackle. Tanks are there. Big grab, actually. Wait, that's immense. You have pulse to that? No pulse to that. Oh, we just saw. Question mark?
Yeah, he was on it, I think, the previous fight as well, but he didn't have the pulse yet.
This is a really scattered fight.
Yeah. We never solved our backline problem. We just ran straight for the cart, and as a result, like, this McCree just lives in our backline.
Yep.
Ready for battle.
Alright. What?
Wait, Ian just killed what?
What?
Why is he here?
Why are... Oh my god, dude. This Widow...
Can he even get out? There's no way out from here, right?
there's no out. There's no out for this situation. You have to, after this missed shot, you have to be able to grapple out and, like, have a Lucio taxi to get out of this situation. This Widow
man,
is...
At least he took an angle.
He took an angle. Oh my god, he's really just hoping nobody saw that shot that he missed.
wait, actually...
What?
He just thought that no one would notice.
What is he doing? Oh my god. This is a photo taken minutes before disaster.
To be continued.
Yeah. Yeah. Dead. Alright, cool. Well, we solved the Widow problem, fellas. We did it. Okay, we should be aware of this hog up here. How did we lose Josh?
So when there's a hog up there, we gotta make a relatively quick decision on whether or not we want to change directions, like everyone walk to high ground and push him out, right? Or whether or not we just ignore him, assume he'll miss the hook basically, or if he misses the hook, then choose to ignore him, right? And then just beeline it down main, right? Oh, your stream just like...
Oh, what? Is it okay?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Or just, yeah, beeline down main. But like we can't just like hesitate and do nothing, right?
So, right. Widow gets killed, and then Josh gets killed, I think, just by getting hit by random spam. Is that what happens here?
I didn't see.
Invisible, seen by Sonic Arrow. There's no shield to protect. Yeah, gets hit by one of those.
Hit by the signal walls.
Yeah, okay. There's really no reason why we shouldn't be able to just flush out this hog, right? And I feel like just preventing that extra chance of a backline support getting picked off just randomly, like just to reduce the RNG in this hog encounter, we should probably just flush him out, right? He can't stop all of us if we just speed boost up there. Just on the, I just saw the Sigma do the thing. Right, Sigma just got shield up. Sigma pulls it back as soon as he's like actually a threat. Throws shield out, pulls it back, just like check against whatever threat that he's feeling at the moment. Although he could afford to take a little bit more damage, but we can also afford to shoot that shield a bit. right?
Yeah.
Like here he's not shielding. Here I don't know why he's using rock other than to get a pick, but here he's not shielding because he can take damage and he knows he has to backline to back him up. Right? He shields there because he knows he has to cut off to take the other fight. He has to guard the other angle, and so he's got to like cut people off. But now he's just taking damage, right? He's just taking damage and then shielding when he's pressured out, because he has the shield to act as extra HP. And now he can get healed up. He's getting healed up. He can drop the shield down, right? Rinse and repeat. So that thing was actually playing that resource game really well there. Just something I thought I'd mention. Oop, I need to stop doing that.
Yeah. Also, really important to note is that they have double off tank and they're running a BAP stand, so they have no speed. Very few ways to get them off of us, and double snipers. So like there's no world in which we beat them in a poke war, right? So we have to run this really fast, and we need to play more grouped, right? Yeah. We talked more about like clearing angles in the past when we have the range advantage or like the poke advantage, and we pretty clearly don't have that here. So when we're playing this comp, we just need to pick a side, pick a guy to run at, and just hit speed and run at them, right? But we split up really hard here and allow them to get like a lot of freebies.
Yeah.
So ignoring the fact that we're down the summer because that's 5v5 still, right? Like at this point, we just need to like run at their sick and run at their zen and just hit amp and go, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna hesitate and then we're gonna split up, and that's really bad.
So I think because we were shielding the hog, we felt the need to go right, and then this is the disconnect right here. So if Owen took the off angle, that would be like kind of okay if all the pressure's on somewhere else, but like this just ends up being really awkward. Like even Ross tries to circle back to help Jaden, and actually this just results in Owen getting killed. Is that the hesitation? We didn't flush out the hog before, so you're down to support. You should be down to support. All right. Well, Owen's just face taking it, but Owen can't help Jaden up in the top right now because he's 1v1ing this hog that we refused to get rid of earlier. We didn't check that hog at all. And the Lucio is not in at all either. Lucio's trying to kite, like Lucio's calling this fight done while both tanks are in. Aras is trying to support Jaden, right? And we just lose this outright.
Yeah. So like
all that would have been solved if we had just either A, taken the Roadhog out from the get-go, or B, played as a group and rushed in, right? It's deathball for a reason.
Yeah. So in ideal world, when we rush, we do it from left side because the Roadhog's on the right, and we just don't want to have to like go underneath him. But like all it really takes, Jaden, is for you just like say, hey, I like let's just call a target really, and just start holding W, right? And don't stop, keep going in, right, from the direction that everyone sees you in, right? And then it's really easy for everyone to just follow you, right? But you sort of split off. You didn't call that you were splitting off. That you're going right side, right? And so nobody followed you right side. And then we weren't able to really follow up, right? So somebody needs to call the direction for the team here. The most sensible person for this is usually the main tank. But if someone else wants to call as well, before you get to like to the situation for like, sorry, it needs to be called before people start splitting up, right? So like, at like this convergent point, I guess, where like or divergent point where like the path split, right? The direction the team is going needs to already be called, right? By somebody, right? It can be Jaden, it can be anyone, right?
I think it's typically either the Ryan or the Lucio here, right? Like Lucio can call, I'm gonna speed left in 3-2 and just initiate like off of we're engaging now, right? And can call that engagement because Lucio's gonna be responsible for the timing. But in terms of like we're gonna be taking a lot of pressure from this angle, Ryan can also call like I'm shielding off this side, we're gonna push them in 3-2-1 go, right? So I think those two are the main shot callers, at least with regards to this composition, right? They're going to be calling the direction of the rush because they're both directly responsible for controlling it.
Yeah. Again, it makes the most sense for these two people to do it, but like again, anyone can do it. Just make sure it happens. Yeah. Make sure the most important thing is that it happens, right? Because we can't get split like this.
Yeah. But I think even if we're in a case where we don't know who should be doing it, also this fight's been done for a while, which isn't getting out. If we're in a situation where we don't know who should be calling it, it's gonna, I think, just default to Lucio. Ryan should know, like, okay, we're in this composition, we should just be the ones to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Josh got caught again.
Oh my god, was he just stalling on the health pack?
He got tagged by the Sig while he's crossing again, just really randomly.
Their spy checking has been pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much the Sig was actually spy checking, but I mean he actually probably was because he was spreading his shots. So
where was your translocator here?
It looks like he's already got one down in spawn, but I guess he felt like he could.
Oh, you destroyed it? Wait,
no.
You definitely destroyed it.
Yeah, I guess he destroyed it. I thought maybe he thought he could like
start setting up again.
Yeah, maybe he thought he didn't need it, but yeah. Yeah, he definitely destroyed it.
Yeah. So
I
I think
guess
you
he
were
was
just trying
destroying
to.
it as he was getting tagged. He destroyed it as he was getting tagged, and then it's like, oh, that's awkward.
Yeah. So that's just bad timing. But there's like, we don't need to set up so aggressively. Sombra can definitely afford to set up a little bit further back.
Yeah.
Especially when the team is not ready to push in. Right. The more important part is you stage yourself to get ready when playing Sombra. Because the backline pressure that you're gonna do as Sombra will mean nothing when your team isn't ready to capitalize on it. It's just it comes back down to the desync issues that we were having on Anubis, even though it's a different comp. But I think the students are saying too, like they were feeling desync for most of this game. So I like this. I like that rush. Like this is good. I want to see this. Right? Good kill on Hanzo. And we say, all right, we're gonna flush out this hog. No more chances. Right? See the hog? Flush him out. And I like this idea of just like we're gonna take as little damage as possible on the entry and kill him. That's really good. That's a good coordinated effort made by pretty much all of the team. Right? Now we shouldn't quite go in yet. I think well, Lucio's in range. I want to see what Ross does here. All right, so Ross takes this off angle, which is kind of cool. Like this is good. But I think the team needs to be pressuring. Well, I guess I can't with the window. Oh, my parakeet is on my shoulder. No, go away. Like this would have been good if not for that wall. I think the Widow just kills off of that. That was a really good idea, though. I think the wall definitely messed up. If we had been able to pressure right up front, where the IMAX window was, right? And have a Ross pressure from this side, like they'd have to make choices. I think that was an okay attempt. We just weren't ready for the Baptiste.
It's also entirely possible that if we have Amp there and Projected Bubble, which we did, we can just like smash through the wall, and then like they can't overrun it and they can't use it anymore.
Oh, so push through it?
Yeah, because like we had a bubble. We probably had Amp at that point as well, and we just didn't push. Like the wall came out, we all started going high ground, and then a Ross tried to like run around them, and just died. Speaking of which, Ross, if you get pinned down there, like you can't like cross in front of the window. You're like you just try and live in your little corner.
Oh, we lost Amp there.
Okay.
I think to escape the Sigma.
Yeah.
I don't know why else it would have made sense to use because we were fine here. So Amp to get through that would have been okay. Then we just get caught out by the wall. We're trying to set up high noon, but I think Ian just leads the Rhine a little bit too far. So desync again. It's all micro, right? The macro level idea was really good here. We messed up a lot of the micro behind it.
Yeah.
I have to keep shooing the bird off of my shoulder. He keeps flying back. It's like, dude, you haven't been hanging out with me all day. Yeah, I'm his perch now. He hasn't been hanging out with me all day. Now he decides, ooh, yeah, 6:15 at night. Aiden's doing work. Like, let me just go hang out with him. Like, come on now. You had all morning to do that.
He was working in the morning. No, he had to make his calls, and then
the bird was working.
Yeah, he had to give us his bird songs, and then after that he's done for the day. He's got to hang out with his buds.
Yeah, this is his after work hours.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like we reconsider that push.
Ooh, that nade is really
God.
dicey.
We're gonna take a lot of damage off of this. Never mind. Well, maybe never mind. Okay. We got out queued. Oh my God.
I'm like 70% sure you can shatter your way out of this.
No, you hang in the air until you hit the ground. But I can tell right now that that's exactly what's gonna happen. Yep.
Oh.
So could that hog. Yeah, that hog hit him with the soul read. And just knew that was gonna happen. That Zen should have died off of that, so that trance is really good. Yeah, they just had 6 Qs ready for that. I want to watch this back. Good lord. Okay. Why am I Discorded here? Yeah. So definitely trying to scout the Tracer now. I like what the hog does here. So the hog uses this to disrupt the push. So Whole Hog is really, really good here defensively. The Sigma Flux is really good here. I think Hog is looking for an opportunity to get the what is it, like when you hook someone out of Flux, they like still take the Flux damage during the normal time, but they're just lowered to the ground. Yeah. So that entire nano gets wasted, not to any fault of our own, really. It just gets countered by other ults. And they out-Q us.
I think I understood what you said, but you were lagging really hard, or I was lagging really hard.
Oh, sorry.
No, it could have been it could have been me. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying that they out-Q'd us there. Like,
Yeah.
we had to use ults to break that fight, and they just had everything and used them perfectly to stagger it, right? Using the Whole Hog to counter the grab nano rush. Just both of those, both nano and grab are two like primary ults that we need to be thinking about conserving and how to use them interchangeably, I think. Because those are both like the fight-winning ults that the entire game is going to be based around, right? Like High Noon does a little bit to zone, but there's not much that we can really get out of it. Shatter is like another one of those primary ults where like we can, you know, they don't have any shield. We can kind of end a fight right then and there. Beat will save us from Flux, which we didn't have it there. Which I don't know why we didn't have it there. I think we just didn't farm it fast enough. And Pulse Bomb isn't going to be winning any fights on its own without Grav. So like we have those three primary ults of like this is what we use to win a fight, and we kind of just blew them all right away. Okay, beat rush. Beat rush. A little early on the beat. I don't know if that got pressured out or not.
I think Jaden was about to die on the side. Or not necessarily about to die, but he took a lot of damage. He got like rocked in the back with Discord.
Yeah. So this is like I think the next best thing that we can do here, right? Is that Hanzo's overextended. Oh, Owen is really, really low here actually. Because of that. So he saves Owen.
Oh, it's for yeah.
Yeah, it's for Owen. Which like good attempt, right? Like because if we don't beat him here, and if we don't do this and we lose Owen, like we definitely lose this fight, I think. We should probably be on speed mode to just rush in, right? We have the beat up, we have the shields, we can tank a little bit of damage to start with and just run in on top of them. Oh my god, that long range charge is kind of awkward. Well, it looks like we close this out. Spoiler alert, we do. Nice. Okay, good job. Anything you want to add there, Jaden? Or not Jaden, Jesus. Or God, I'm tired.
Yeah, it was fine. I think we just generally we use our speed we use our speed in our bubbles too early, and it makes it really hard to actually close the distance. Once they realize we're running in, right? We really want to start like get as close as we can with regular speed before we actually hit the amp, and then like we use the burst of speed from amp to like really like get in their face and stop them from running away.
Yeah. I actually kind of like this. I don't know if it's better to have the McCree playing high ground, or I like this up until I saw where the McCree was. But I like having the McCree kind of chaperoning the Ana, right? Just to make sure that there's some help, especially if you're seeing this Genji switch and you kind of think like, okay, Genji's probably gonna jump my healer. I need to have some help. This is, I think, a good idea overall, and the tanks are able to maintain some space on the high ground as well themselves. Right, this is one of those situations where you don't really need to use shield, and you could just drop back. I don't know why we ran the long way around. Like you could just drop on the payload and help your team directly here. That's a little awkward from them. Like we don't know where the cart is, and now we're Ana's frontlining as a result. I don't know if Ana doesn't get punished because they don't want to push into it. But
I don't even know if we should have given up the high ground in the first place, though. Like,
I don't know
get
if
off
we
the
should
cart,
either.
get our supports on the high ground too, plus our DPS, right? Because like now their Hanzo is like playing the high ground for free.
We're trying to figure out why we give the high ground up, and the only reason I can think of is because Jaden loses his shield out, right?
Yeah, but he can like take a step back and hide in a corner somewhere. He doesn't have to give it up, right?
We don't need to be shielding this, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we need to shield off someone. Like we can focus on the Zen here for sure.
Yeah, like we could actually just drop on the Zen and kill him, and then go back up the stairs. If we want to drop, it should be for aggression, not because we need it back, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of ways on high ground where you can just hide and avoid damage.
But there's just so much shield pressure coming in because we're holding so close to the ledge and not making any decisive action. Also, don't fire strike Genjis when you think they have deflect for that reason. Which, oh my god, does Araska get hit by that? Yeah. Okay. There's really no reason to drop, and there's definitely no reason to be going all the way back to spawn B, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna do one of the two things, drop, but you shouldn't have to do that anyways. We're just so far out there. But none of them are really in a position to capitalize off of that, so it's okay. Force out the Immor. That could be big.
Yeah. Everyone dropped. We didn't put anyone back up there. The Hanzo's now on high ground for free.
Go.
He drops for some reason, but he's flanking, so flanks win games. Although he ended, but yeah.
Once again, we're cut off. So that all kind of snowballed immensely. We probably should just lose it here, right? We don't. Well, no, that's not true. We have a few ults to work with, but so do they. So they're probably gonna hog the grab again.
Shielded.
Okay.
No.
Wait, what?
He was in front of the shield, and we didn't move the shield. We didn't adjust the shield.
That's a good kill. Like,
yeah.
Good dodge. This is all looking really, really good up until you roll right in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just no adjustment from Jaden to like actually try and shield him, because he's like Jaden sees this and he's not trying to like adjust until afterward.
Well, I think he's trying to walk in front, right? Because it's hard to tell exactly where this is. Well, yeah, you can definitely angle the shield here. Like, this is what, while you're walking forward, definitely angle the shield to wrap around the McCree. Right? Like, that roll puts him so far in front of Jaden. I don't think Jaden's ready for that. Right? Because now he's in the pressure. Now he's feeling the pressure to move forward, and the rock just comes out. Right? So, like, Jaden was in position, but Ian rolled super far in front of him, too. But yeah, definitely angle the shield where you can to try and protect the McCree. But we kind of just lost that for no reason, or that ult for no reason.
I do like how we keep pushing this angle though, and now like Ian's like, that's
again. What happens? Where is
so right here? We have like Omega high ground advantage. We just need to like drop one guy onto cart, and then we're good. But we like run into them, and then like this, we don't check our corners. This guy whole hogs from behind. We face tank a window, and everybody dies now.
And we can't win this without pegs.
Yeah. If we just had to put like a tracer or a Rhine on low ground, basically, we would have been fine.
Yep. Okay. No reason to look at that any further. Lijiang is the last one. We got half an hour to do this.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Is it looking like a half hour? It's looking like it might not be.
So from what I understand, Ryan Orisa is probably going to be meta on this map going at least in the near future, because it's just way stronger. This kind of one like direction fighting, one directional fighting, or I don't know how to say it.
It's very close combat, linear.
Yeah, linear. There we go. If it's very like straight up, right? No angles, nothing, right? Orisa is just a lot better than Zarya at that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been singing praises about the Rhine Orisa in the close combat situations. I definitely think it'll be meta for Lijiang, save for Garden. I don't think there's any.
You can still play on Garden actually with Sim and just play bunker and point essentially. It's still playable. It's not like the most ideal necessarily, but it's still decent.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own apprehension towards running any more static comps on Garden, just because like you really have to gain a foothold to make it work, and it's so hard to regain foothold on Garden. With those kinds of comps. So, but I think Ryan Orisa definitely works on Night Market and this one. Although I've heard a lot of people who are naysayers about it. Okay, so we take the White Room control. Good. I presume we just hit the rollout better than they could. Car wash set up. They abandoned it right away. So I don't think we've really had too many situations where they abandon it right away. So maybe this is just kind of new to us because a lot of people really try to fight for the White Room control. So they just go right to point and start holding as far away as possible from us, and they put us on the like kind of on the timer to start challenging them. But we just really need to have like toes on point. We don't need to full rush them right away. Although the Echo does have us a little camped out. Yeah, so like look at where this Ryan's holding. Ryan's trying to conserve his shield by just tiptoeing around the side of this, and holding like either side. Try to take as little damage as possible, predict where we're gonna come from, because he's just still got front line, but there's no reason for him to take shield damage, right? He has something to prevent him from needing to use it, right? Or he has like hard cover to work with, and then he only shields like when we start going in, or when they're trying to push, right? He thinks that we're going in, so he starts shielding the pressure back, and then he goes right back to his little space, right? Keeps the team a little safe, and then you just take it for free because we never pressure them. So at the very least, you should be challenging it, and that'll force the Rhine to come out. But yeah, they kind of flipped the script on us here. Right, so now that Ryan's pretty much ready to go wherever. Yeah, and that Ryan just gets melted down. So good, we finally engage on it. It's okay if we lose point initially to win the fight, like 12%, that's not too much. That's, I don't think, gonna make or break it right away. Especially because we're gonna gain the same amount back. Nice pin. We're gonna get the same amount back just by setting up, waiting for them to respawn. So Galen, I know you've talked about this, where we need to like either hold up front or be ready to bail out. So I think that's something that we'll keep an eye out for here. I believe you said that before, right?
Yeah. And if you want to like have it both ways, you need to have a sim teleport like preemptively set up like behind this rover.
Yeah.
So that goes back to point.
Yeah, I like
you
the
can't
one
just
behind
like
rover.
you can't do it like halfway through because it's way too chaotic usually.
Is this is looking kind of halfway through?
It's okay. If we assume that they're going to be playing faster than us, and because we have the turrets and we have a like really spammy comp, we kind of want to hold really close to the door. So if they were like a rush comp and we were playing like a Ryan comp that still like didn't really want to interact with the rush, we would play like back here, and then we just like play Ring Around the Rosie with the Reinhardt basically on the rover. But yeah, if they're not going to rush, then, or if we have a really strong comp for holding the door, we want to put more pressure on the door.
A good read that they're gonna not pressure that, so we get set up for here. Like I think that's a really good read because just waste their time. Fire strike wall, nice. Big. They can't challenge it. Hold them in servers. Oh my god, this Junkrat's doing work. They're so lost. Good job. This is really big. We're like 2 steps ahead of them right here. Then we set for the mid push. Try to see if they'll do it again.
Yeah. So if Josh is trying to hold close to the door, we want to hold away from the door to invite them to walk in, and then he gets a free tire from behind. But yeah, it looks like they're going to go left again anyways. Well, they were thinking about it, now they're going to go through main. This is fine. Main's not that important. It's pretty important, but it's not that important. And they burn a coal. Take it.
Yeah, I think they're anticipating a lot more pressure going in, just off the nature of Ryan wants to close a lot of distance really quickly, and they bubble him on this charge. Like, I think they're anticipating something to hit him from the side. Right? They know that the sim turrets are there, so they start boosting him in. So that trap's really good, because he would have just been right on top of us. Nice. Yeah. We really just, like, outpositioned them. Route again. What is this Ryan doing? What is he doing?
Trying to touch. Yeah.
What are you doing, you silly hammer
Poor
boy?
guy. Oh, someone touched.
Who's on point? Oh, it's Echo and Lucio. Yeah. Good shield. Good hold. Yeah, awesome job. I mean, that just looked like we knew exactly how to respond to pretty much everything. That first fight was a little dicey, but we got it done. So yeah, good responses.
Ready for battle.
Anything you want to add, Galen?
Nothing like
you look back
big picture at this point, I guess. No, that's fine. Just be careful burning shield, Jaden, when you don't have to again, right? Like on first fight, for example, you kind of just sat there holding shield, and then they like didn't push white, and then you had no shield when they were on point. That's part of what like made us play so slow until they capped.
3, 2,
Oh, we're gonna do the Rhinorissa here.
2.
Yeah.
Capture the objective.
Nice, good hit. That's a super solid.
Ooh,
Wonder,
we beat them by so much.
I want to see if they stepped in front of their sim, because that's like the #1 thing that messes us up is someone walks in front of the sim trying to protect her and she just can't get LOS.
4, 3,
So I want to see how we beat them so fast.
1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
They just
Speed
didn't amp.
boost? Speed
Yeah,
boost? Speed boost? Oh, someone stepped in front of her and they didn't speed boost? Oh my lord. Ryan just dropped some charges. Oh, you pressure them out of the Immor? That's big. Yeah. Nice. Wow,
Yeah,
that
as a
was
general-
really dominant.
Yeah, as a general rule, if they're going to TP, Jaden, and Avery, and whoever's playing Ryan, Owen, you have like full permission to get literally as aggro as you want there. As soon like on the first drop, right? Obviously, like when you get a couple swings, right, you can back and stuff and like reconsider. But like you actually need to be as aggro as you possibly can there, and your Orisa needs to back you up. So Ross, you just need to like hold W as hard as you can with your shift and throw in a shield if you have it, right? For your Ryan, and then after that, like then reconsider if you can still keep living if you keep doing that. But like. It's really important that you just take as much space as you can in the first couple of seconds.
Wait, hold on. I have to go back. Good try on that.
That lamp was too early, by the way, as well.
Yeah. Lamp was too early. I think Aras could play in front of Jane just a little bit, right, with the Fortify. Like, that's the whole reason why you play Orisa is to act as like a second shield. Or a second and third shield, I suppose.
Yeah.
Alright.
And also, you want to save the pull. I know you're going for the cliff pull there, Ross, but like, save the pull for your Ryan when they're trying to push, and then you stack them all really neatly for your Ryan swings and fire strikes.
Yeah. Your whole job is to slow their momentum, and all of your kit does that really well in this composition. Looks like they want to go with something a little bit more mobile. Yeah, they're gonna do it from the opposite side this time. They're faking.
Yeah, be careful. Okay, again, you gotta be really careful with that shield, Ross, because if you having shield for when they actually engage is more important than having like the shield come up and cool down faster, right? It's like monkey bubble. Like, sure, like putting a shield down now when you expect this will get you your next shield faster, but if you don't actually know they're pushing this, the shield is really bad, right?
Yeah, they now have 8 seconds to close the distance.
And again, don't focus on like all the shooting, right? You want to get as close to the corner as you can, as fast as you can, without taking damage, right? So you're not playing Orisa here, you're playing a Ryan buff, right? So you need to get to where the Ryan needs to stand, which is next to the corner, right? So that way when your Ryan is swinging, you're right there next to him and you can fortify for him, right?
Yeah.
But if you're standing in the back shooting, like doing a class like normal Orisa stuff, right, you're not actually going to be in position to help your Ryan. And your Ryan also doesn't feel confident now because like you're not standing up there with him, right? So now both of you are playing back. You're both like dying to wall now.
And look how much easier it's gonna be for them to push past your window than it is for you to push into theirs, right? Because they're just gonna keep shooting as they run it down mid, and as they run down mid, they're going to clear this wall no matter what. Plus, they've got the D matrix to get through it, so they deny almost all those projectiles. So they should be able to push in. And they do some from the side. Yeah. So we're just out of position for that fake rotate. Which we definitely had time to respond to it as well. We just didn't do so. I don't think we needed dragons there. Unless we clutch us up. Alright, well we're gonna try what? You know what? No, I'm just gonna Alright. Alright, I'll hold my tongue.
Yeah. Beat was probably actually not needed, but like oh rolled.
Oh my god.
Dragons is probably fine. Dragons in general is just not like super good, so using whatever you think there's a chance of winning is fine.
It's definitely not a primary ult in this comp, but
yeah, do you see how like Jaden's fighting up there and like the Orisa's like nowhere to be seen, just shooting the gun, right? That's the #1 situation we're trying to avoid with this comp. Okay, so Jaden's gonna step up and take this fight. That's fine, right?
Oh my god, body checked.
Yeah. But if you look, like Jaden's dying right now, right? Where's the Orisa? Right.
Orisa's on point.
Yeah.
Orisa's taking her own fight.
Shield, shield. Okay.
She'll dance it. She'll dance it. Oh my god. Definitely could have killed Ryan earlier. That's okay. Yeah, doesn't matter. Alright, let's see it. Nice.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
Looks like we're gonna try to run out of gardens as well. With the TP. We really like the sim comp.
I think Jaden can't play ball, so.
Ah, okay. So we just want to try it here. See if it works.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Round 3.
Nice. Good shot. Good shot on the basket.
Teleporter online. We move.
To be honest, I like going straight through the window, especially when we have like Orisa, because like we just kind of beat most things in straight 1v1s, or straight like front on 6v6s. But I guess that TP is okay as well.
Yeah, I think it's just an easier TP to hit, so we just do it.
Oh, okay.
Like Window's a little bit scuffed to hit because it's just like the weird rounded edges. But
okay.
like it's not that difficult. So just TPing to the side, I guess, works. Okay, so how does Aras die here?
I think we just peeked. We didn't have to.
Yeah, tanks are not ready for them.
Also, again, remember that? Look at that shield, right? The Orisa shield.
Oh wait. Oh, did he set it up in main?
Yeah, he set it up in the wrong direction, right? So again, just wait until something like until you confirm like where you actually need the shield before you use the shield, right?
He gets booped out by the hamster. Okay, so he gets booped out in front of the hamster. Doesn't have a shield to support. Doesn't have pull to get people away. Blasted.
Yeah. Again, we don't have to like, we don't have to peek this. We don't have to peek this at all, right? Like we can just like kind of chill, wait for them to try and cross the bridge, and then we run around the corner and try and kill them, right? But we don't have to peek. We don't have to shoot them, right? We're just chilling. This is probably too much. Chasing the ball, smacking the ball initially was probably okay, but now you've gone like
we've
way
lost
out of
all presence on this door for sure.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to challenge it until now. Like we don't need to peek it, but we definitely need to have pressure there to challenge it.
Yeah, you just need to be close enough that at any point they try to cross, you can be there and immediately, right? And this is like not exactly the definition of immediately.
Oh my god, help him, help him, help him. Okay. I like the timing of that combo. Definitely communicated, looks good. The wall off. Sigma's having a bad day. Nice, okay. Yeah, so I think the other team is just too afraid to push into us in these circumstances, but they definitely have opportunities to do so. Like hopefully we all see that they're being given opportunities to do so and they're just not taking them. Okay. That's definitely a better shield, knowing that they're coming from bridge. It fortifies a little force there.
So if your mage gonna be up there, you need to throw him a shield, right? So it's
Yeah.
the same concept as like your Ryan, right? So if someone's fighting at a corner and you're not there to stand there, at the least you can do is like give them a shield, right? Throw them a shield in front of them, right? So that lands on the corner, and that way they can keep playing the shield. Also, as a general rule, we want to find a choke to stuff, and the bridge is a pretty good choke to stuff if we just like stand with our tanks there. But we're standing on point for some reason.
Yeah, we need to be holding that choke for sure.
But like that shield's like way too far back, for example, for like what Josh is trying to do.
Draw.
Nice wall.
He like uses auto shield on the high noon.
Yeah,
And
why are
it's
you
fine.
challenging that? Who does he protect with that?
Himself.
Oh my god, that I should have died. Yeah, you got lamp forced out, everyone's finding a wall.
Feel like a man possessed.
Oh, I guess you do prevent Sim
That's Ian.
from dying,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like, why does he get, I
Realistically,
guess
so you should expect people to be fine from that and save your shield. Yeah.
I guess he is pressured out by the Sim, but then, everybody's damage boosted, your Discord, like, your HP just melts. I don't even think that's a shield issue at that point, right? Because I want to look back just where he is in the circumstance and what tools they have. It's just typical main tech experience, I think.
I mean, he just pushed around the wall for no particular reason, right?
Yeah, no particular
Like, he doesn't know
reason.
the Sim is in trouble.
Right. You just take...
Yeah, you just shove yourself into the concave, you don't push the sides of the concave, and then, like, sad day. This is why holding the bridge, by the way, is so important in the first place, right? Is like, if you look, they have, like, 3 heroes on the map that shouldn't be able to withstand here, right?
Yeah, Tracer,
and this is because
Tracer
they
got in
pushing
from I think a long flank, then got in from trance, and this McCree should have died, but managed to catch himself on the rocks during the bridge.
Yeah.
But that's all because Lucy is the only one holding this corner, right?
Yeah, we just need more presence on bridge earlier.
God, I felt that.
Cease your resistance.
Oh my God, wait. Let's see the shield. It's like the bubble all over again.
Cease your resistance.
Oh my God. Good read, good read. Forces out the Immor and Fortify though. That's
Yeah,
okay.
we were like, pulse bomb.
I mean, that was such a lucky shield that, like... Yeah. I mean, those would have been forced out either way. At least it's a good response, right? Because we can't count on that shield being there all the time. But you know that Tracer's mad about that one. Wow, actually dominated on Lijiang. Good job.
Victory.
Okay. That seems to be all the maps that we didn't see from scrims. Is there anything else to go over? Do we need to look back at anything?
I don't think so. The only things left are like the maps that we already saw when we were like spectating, but yeah, we went over like you said, we went over the maps we didn't see.
Was there anything that you wanted to recap from those maps in the 10 minutes we have left?
Not particularly. Because a lot of it's just like bigger, like broader stroke stuff that are like, because like we're mixing so much stuff up, right? Mostly just like, hey, when we're playing Ride and Rush, we need to keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, definitely agreed. We just need to follow through on that. It's the desync issue that we're running into time after time. It looks like we really pulled together on Lijiang though. Like for the most part, right? There's a lot of mic. Huh?
Was I think Lijiang was before Blizzard World.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oop. Well, then I might be a liar. Let me see. Replay codes. In order.
It's definitely the case because Blizzard World still says 1 day ago. It hasn't finished yet.
Okay. We're hitting that 24-hour mark. Yeah, okay. Well, it definitely looks like Lijiang Tower we had it together. Just like there's a lot of little micro stuff between the tanks that needs to be sorted out. in terms of how to play that comp. But it's also been a little bit since we played that comp. So just relearning it for Lijiang is definitely important. So stuff like that, remembering like where we need to hold and communicating on that level is big. But then there's a lot of stuff that's just we're not all ready to do the macro level plan on like Anubis, right? Anubis is a really good example of just where our dives keep going wrong because everybody's just a little bit off like from each other by a second. As a result, the dive fails entirely because
Yeah.
we just don't have the resources in place to be doing things with it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's it for the VOD review then. If we don't have anything else to go over.
Yep. For those of you watching, remember to send Aiden and I replay codes, or like individual VOD review codes. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Alrighty. Well then, have a good night.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.